How's it going, y'all? My name is Nick. This is the Inverted.Visions YouTube channel, and welcome to another exciting episode. Today, I'm talking about some cool arcade games, specifically 10 cool arcade games you can play on your computer if you want to put in the effort. I'm talking about some Sega Naomi games, Model 2, Model 3, some Namco games, some SNK, Neo Geo games, or just one of those. This will be a fun episode. I've been wanting to do this for a while. Let's get right into this. This is 10 cool arcade games you can play on PC. Hope you enjoy. First off, I just want to talk about Daytona USA 2, a Sega-released arcade racing game in 1998. This game is a sequel to Daytona USA, obviously, and where the first game was a bit more by the books, a little more straight when it came to its settings. Daytona USA 2 gets a little bit more silly, a little more arcadey with its levels. The second track has like this like alien thing, and it's got like this like train that crashed, and the first oval track is like this biodome kind of thing. Super fun game. I'm not very good at Daytona 2 or Daytona 1 for that matter, but it's crazy that Sega never released this game outside of arcades. It's always been an arcade exclusive game. It's an excellent Model 3 game. This is being played on the Sega the Super Model emulator, which is fantastic, and it's got widescreen hacks, so it looks like a more modern game. Super fun game. Daytona USA 2, had to throw it in there. Yeah.
Hey, let's ball!
When I was coming up with this list for these 10 games I wanted to talk about, I was going to initially choose a Metal Slug game because I love the Metal Slug franchises. It's one of my favorite game franchises of all time, one of my favorite Neo Geo games. But I was like, you know what, that's too easy for me. I'll pick a different one. So this is League Bowling from SNK, released on the Neo Geo arcade platform in 1990. This game is super fun. I'm really into bowling in real life, even though I'm not very good at it, but it's a fun sport. And this is a really fun, easy pick-up-and-play game. You're watching footage of me and my partner playing, little two-player, and I kicked her butt. Actually, not that much. I did okay. But yeah, this is League Bowling from SNK on the Neo Geo. Super fun game, really nice pick-up-and-play type game. Also, check out the animations and the colors and just like the funny stuff that the characters say and stuff when you get like a good bowl, or if you actually like screw up, it'll say funny stuff that his like face blows up or whatever. Yeah, it's a very charming game, very fun, very simple. I have a soft spot and a love for puzzle games, especially falling block puzzle games, and this is a fun one that I recently found. It's called Baku Animal, released by Sega and also developed by Sega, released in 1995 for their STV platform. It also was released on Sega Saturn and all this stuff, so it's not really an arcade exclusive game, but I'm playing the arcade version mostly. This is a fun game where you basically have to match animals to the food they eat, and they chomp it up, and then if you get good combos, and it sends garbage to your opponent. Fun, simple, falling block puzzle game, but with a kind of a different spin. It's also got some bizarro 3D graphics and weird backgrounds, and weird music. So it's just kind of a weird, bizarre kind of looking and sounding game, which makes it all the more charming. This is a really fun game. This is me and my partner playing, and we were both pretty even as far as skill level is in this game. So a lot of fun to play. Definitely check out Baku Animal for the Sega STV.
曲ご所望かしら
Alright, so here is the obligatory fighting game for this list of 10 arcade games. This is Project Justice, released in arcades by Capcom in 2000, the year 2000. This is one of probably my favorite fighting games of all time, which might be a little crazy to say, but it just feels good to play. The combos are fun. There's these cool attacks where you can hit two buttons together, and if you land the attack, then your character teams up with another one of your teammates, and they do these crazy special moves. It's like this. The setting is like this cool school versus school, high school fighting game. So there's all these different teachers and tennis players and a girl who plays violin. And it's just super wacky. It's classic Capcom fighting at its peak, in my opinion. Just so much fun. I'm not a big fighting game head, but this game is a lot of fun for me to pick up and play. I play with my buddy Alejandro, and he always kicks my butt, but it's still a lot of fun. This is also the sequel. The original game is called Rival Schools, which is also an arcade game and a PS1 game. Project Justice is an arcade game and a Dreamcast game. But yeah, super fun game. Project Justice kicks ass. Give it a check, a look, if this looks cool to you. Alright, going back to the big S, big old Sega for another awesome Sega arcade game. This is Sega Ski Super G for the Model 2 arcade platform. Sega proves time and time again that they were kings of the arcade. It's sad what Sega is like now. They're still okay. Sonic Frontiers is fun. Sonic Origins, I hear, is okay. But the glory days of Sega and their pedigree in the arcade scene is unmatched. They have such great games, so much fun, and Sega Ski Super G is no different. Really fun, pick up and play arcade skiing game, which originally was one of those crazy amusement arcades where you actually had skis you actually stood on and controlled. But this game actually controls really well with a analog stick. It's actually kind of like a dual analog stick control scheme. Really fun, really cool game. Really good music. I'm gonna play a little clip. I really like the music of the first level. So Sega Ski Super G, super fun game. Check it out. Here's a kooky one. This game is called Dancing Eyes, released by Namco in 1996 in the arcades. Never released in the US, so I can't imagine why. But this is a kooky Japanese arcade game where you play as this little monkey. You gotta draw lines, and if you connect lines on the spaces, then the spaces break away. And the goal is to break away all the little rectangles or squares on the level, and it reveals the character. And depending on how well you did and how much time you have left, it gives you a little show of the character, which is pretty funny. This game is not for everybody. I know that some people think this kind of stuff is weird and whatever, but this game is fun and it's silly, and I like the concept. Interestingly enough, they were going to make a remake of Dancing Eyes for the PS3 back in like 2013 or something, but the Namco executives decided that it would be too risky in modern times to release a game like this, and makes sense, but hey, what can you do? I like Galgun and stuff like that too, and Senran Kagura, so these kind of games are fun to me, and yeah, Dancing Eyes, 1996 Namco arcade game. Alright, more Sega. Kings of the Arcade. This is Sega Tetris, released in 1999 for the Sega Naomi arcade platform. There's a lot of Naomi games on here. If you couldn't tell already, I freaking love the Naomi / the Dreamcast. Such a great era for 3D games. I love that simple 3D polygon look. Just super cool. Anyway, this is Sega Tetris, a really, really fun and unique take on Tetris, because when you're playing in two-player mode, if you connect a line of 2 or 3 or 4, or 2 and then a space and then a third, or if you get a Tetris, they all create a different negative effect on your opponent. So like if you have like a line of 2, then your opponent is forced to connect 2 pieces together and use that on their game board. If that makes sense, I don't know. So it's really fun as a 2-player Tetris game. It's really like, it's all about the attacks you send out, and it's like you can really screw over your opponent, and you know, it's really fun. I really like this game. It's a really fun way to play Tetris if you're looking for something kind of different. And I love that monkey and that dog. It's such a weird, funny, kind of Sega kookiness kind of thing. I love all the backgrounds change. There's an iguana, and there's cars, and the city, and all this kind of stuff. It's great. So yeah, Sega Tetris is a really fun game. Check it out. It's also released on the Dreamcast in Japan. This is the arcade Naomi version.
Go ahead and pick a car and driver. Beanie Joe.
Yeah, we gonna have some fun.
Hey, it's time to make some crazy money. Are you ready? Here we go.
This game is truly one of the greats. Crazy Taxi, released by Sega, developed by Hitmaker, which is actually a subsidiary of Sega. Released in 1999 on the Sega Naomi arcade platform. My love for the Sega Naomi Dreamcast platform is very strong in this episode. But Crazy Taxi is one of the greats. Super fun, kinetic, exciting gameplay, great soundtrack with Bad Religion and The Offspring, and just such an addicting and simple premise that's executed so well. Love Crazy Taxi, had to include on the list.
Right on.
This is Monkey Ball, the arcade version, released on the Sega Naomi arcade platform in 2001. So this game is super interesting to me because I love the Super Monkey Ball series. Loved it ever since the first game on GameCube. My dad bought it for me as my second GameCube game after Luigi's Mansion was Super Monkey Ball, and I dug the hell out of that game. The multiplayer is fun, the music's cool, I love the aesthetic. But this is what started it all. Super interesting to be able just to play the original Monkey Ball arcade game and look at the similarities and the differences between the original Monkey Ball and then what became Super Monkey Ball on the GameCube. Very similar games. Layouts of the stages are exactly the same, but the aesthetic changed, the music changed. It's a super fun game. This is the gameplay that I'm showing is me playing with the controller, but it's really fun to play this game with an arcade stick, which is how the game was originally intended, with a banana-style joystick, which I don't have that, but that's super cool. Last thing I will mention is seemingly the bonus stage music in Monkey Ball became, or at least the bass line of that song became the music for Monkey Shot, Beginner Stage, and Super Monkey Ball 2. So I'm going to play both of those back to back just because I'm geeking out on stuff like that.
Ready, go.
But there's little cool things. If you're a big fan of Monkey Ball, definitely play the arcade version of Monkey Ball on the Naomi, and you'll probably get a kick out of all the little differences and all that kind of cool stuff. So yeah, Monkey Ball Arcade, 2001 game, freaking Monkey Ball, live on forever, dude. So this is the last game I'm going to showcase for this video, and I hope you enjoyed so far. This is Mario Kart Arcade GP DX. This is running on the Techno Parrot emulation platform for like modern arcade games. This game was released in 2013 by Bandai Namco and Nintendo, and it is a damn hoot and a holler, I tell you what. This game is really fun. You can pick your items, because like you only can pick 3 items when you go into a race. So you can pick like from explosive Koopa shells and like golden thumbtacks that pop tires, or an item that turns your enemies into like a ball. The items are really crazy and they're kooky, and every time you collect up to 50 Mario coins on the track, you can unlock more items and carts and all this kind of cool stuff. So you're constantly unlocking new things and like trying out different items and trying out different characters. And it's just a really fun time. It's a simpler game than the console Mario Kart 8 or the Double Dash or the Mario Kart Wii, but it's a really fun, solid Mario Kart game. And I've actually had a lot of fun playing the tracks and just kind of having fun unlocking stuff in this game recently. So if you're itching for some new Mario Kart tracks or new Mario Kart content, and you've played Mario Kart 8 or you played Double Dash or Wii or 64 to death, see if you can try playing Arcade GP DX. It's a really fun game. It's really worth the effort it takes to get it working. Techno Parrot's kind of a finicky emulator, and you got to sign up for the Patreon to get some, kind of like some perks and some bonus stuff. But if you're in the mood to play a new Mario Kart game and you want to try something different, definitely check out Mario Kart Arcade GP DX on your computer and have some fun. Alright y'all, that's all I gotta say for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for giving it a look and checking it out. If you're into this thing, let me know. Send me a comment or a like or whatever bullshit it is. If you want to see more, please let me know. This was a lot of fun to make. I have a really fun time just talking about games that I'm just into, especially games that might not be the most common, these kind of like some exclusive arcade games or whatever. This stuff geeks me out. So yeah, thanks for watching, thanks for checking it out. Yeah, have a good night, have a good day, have a good evening, have a good morning, and I'll check you out on the flip side in the next video. Peace.